Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn, guys. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all doing fine. Thank you for joining me this Thursday morning, guys. Wherever you are in the world, you're absolutely welcome. Thank you so much, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you guys could do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Here we go. Here we go. Where? A, B, C, D. D for desperation. D for dunce. D for diabolical. That is Manchester United's transfer window so far, isn't it? Can it get better? They've got time to retrieve the situation. But at the moment, I'm hearing news about Manchester United going not after A, not after B, not after C, but D. Choice of players now. What's going on at Man United, guys? We're going to get into it very soon. We got news about a couple of Inter Milan players that Man United have on their radar. We've also got news about Rasmus Hojlund. Will Rasmus Hojlund be leaving the football club? We're going to get into that as well. And also, Jadon Sancho could be leaving the football club. He's willing to take a pay cut. What do we do, guys? What do we do? Do we just get rid of him. Just get rid of him. Get rid of him, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. We're going to get into it. There's a lot of news, of course, of Man United. Man United is every day there's news, isn't it? Every day we turn around, there's a new bit of news. Every day we turn around, there's a new bit of news. It's crazy at the end of the day. But, guys, thank you for joining me. Again, as I always say, I'm very grateful for everyone who turns up every single morning. My guys and my girls, what's going on? Cornish Maid, what's going on? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Seems like there's a standoff between Brentford and United. And Mbeumo, apparently we set the deadline for the 7th. Now, guys, I did say this about a few days ago in regards to Brian and Mbeumo, that the 7th is it's the point of no return. But what do we do, guys? What do we do? Let me tell you something. Do Manchester United walk away from this deal after they've been doing this deal for the last month? Do they just walk away? You know what I mean? I mean, that is just a waste of a month, really, isn't it, over the transfer window? Absolutely incompetence personified. I mean, goodness me, I cannot fathom how they could ever possibly do that. If it goes over the 7th, are they just going to walk away? Are they just going to say, no, don't turn around, I'm not going to see your heart breaking, all that business? Do you know what I mean? Or are they going to carry on? I mean, are they calling someone's bluff? Brian Mbeumo has been going on since Brian Mbeumo said he wants to come to Man United, accepted a contract offer from Manchester United on the 2nd of June. It is now the 3rd of July, guys. We're going in over a month, guys, for one player. What's going on? How comes we can't get these deals over the line quickly? Why is it taking Man United so long? And why are INEOS penny pinching when we need a proper rebuild, guys? Absolutely. Cornish, if Mbeumo desperately wants to United, then I think he needs to step up and push Brentford to accept it. This is very, very good point, Cornish, because at the end of the day, players have the power, don't they? Players have the power to make to push teams to sell them. Seldom do you ever get a player who wants to leave who doesn't get his wish. For example, Antony threatened to sue Ajax, didn't he? So why doesn't Brian Mbeumo do the same with Brentford? Of course, he might be a respectful guy. He doesn't want to go down that avenue. He doesn't want to disrespect the club that gave him his first opportunity when they purchased him. Let's not forget they purchased him for what, 6 million euros? Unbelievable, isn't it? He's done very well. But now it's time to let him go. It's time to let him go. The quote is 70 million euros, guys. Now, what do you think of that? Now, what Brentford are thinking is that, oh, look, we purchased Cunha for what, 60? I mean, and they want more than that. So that's fair enough. At the end of the day, it's only a little bit more, isn't it? What we're going to pay anyway. You have to pay top dollar for great players, isn't it? At the end of the day, what we're going to do, we're just going to walk away from this deal. We can't walk away from this deal, guys. We have to pay the money. I think we just pay the money and that's it. You know, get rid of a couple of players. Speaking of players that we may get rid of, Jadon Sancho has been reported over numerous amounts of weeks that Jadon Sancho is in talks with Juventus. Now, Jadon Sancho has finally succumb to the possibility that he may have to take a pay cut in wages. Now, guys, finally, you know, Juventus cannot afford 300 grand a week for Jadon Sancho. That's a given. They can't. This is why they're trying to offload the likes of Douglas Luiz and obviously Vlahovic as well. They're trying to get rid of these players. Timo as well. Team Weah, of course, they're trying to get rid of these players. So this is why they don't want to pay too much in wages. So Jadon Sancho is in line to take a pay cut, which is great. And if this deal goes through, fantastic, great. Thank you, Dharma Chef and Fabrizio Romano, who have spoken about, obviously, Sancho going to Juventus many, many times over the last few weeks. And I absolutely respect those journalists. Absolutely. Dharma Chef, of course, will be on the show very soon as well, guys. But what I want to say is this, right? Look, he needs to go. He needs to go. It's sad what's happened with him. But you know what? At the end of the day, he's been an absolute disaster. And probably Manchester United's worst signing in our history. And willing to take a pay cut, you should be, mate. You should be aiming for the World Cup in 2026, Jaden. The World Cup. You know, you got Thomas Tuchel in charge of England, right? Thomas Tuchel has Borussia Dortmund links, right? Sancho has Borussia Dortmund links. So there may be a possibility. I'm looking at the glass half full for Jadon Sancho. There may be a possibility that he might be able to squeeze into the England squad. Because let's be honest, guys, Jadon Sancho at his best, right? At his best is different to what England have got. He's a different type of player to what England have. Do you know what I mean? So there you go. Big up Red Devil Dave. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Brentford wants 70 million clause. They reckon his stats are better than Cunha. Look, at the end of the day, Red Devil Dave, look, you know, what I would say, you can't argue with Brentford. Brentford have the power here in regards to the money side of things. But the problem with Brentford are having at the moment is because Brian Mbeumo has already declared that he wants to go to Manchester United. He wants to leave Brentford. So once a player does that and commits himself to doing that, it's very hard to keep those players. But there has to be an element of respect between the two sides. And there has to be an element of like, okay, you want 70 million. Let's work around that. Do you know what I mean? That mark. They have a point. Let's be fair. They have a point. But the thing is, in regards to Brentford, it is not Man United's fault. This was a release clause from Cunha. This was a release clause from Cunha. Brian Mbeumo does not have a release clause. So at the end of the day, they have a point. They do feel aggrieved. They do want more money. At the same time, you know, Man United need to be careful and need to know when to walk away. But when I think about Man United walking away from this deal, I feel very, I don't know, I feel very like fed up because that would be a month of wasted time for me. Now, I want this deal to go through purely because of the fact we spent so bloody long on the deal. Do you know what I mean? We spent so long in this deal. It's taken too long to get over the line. Do you know what I mean? And we need to get this deal done. Absolutely. Big up Red Devil Dave, by the way. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. 160 million and walk away. I mean, at the end of the day, look, Red Devil Dave, look, Man United are the only football club. If this was Liverpool, if this was City, if this was Chelsea, we'll be paying 25 million for Watkins and people be talking about what a great deal that was. It's a bit like when Liverpool signed McAllister. You know, they get the deal done and they get it done cheap, you know, and this is the frustrating thing for me because it seems like as soon as Man United come into the equation, Man United have to pay triple, quadruple the amount the player's worth. This is why we're having to go for A, B, C, and D. Now, guys, let me get into a little bit of transfer news. Of course, I spoke about this player a couple of times over the last couple of months. Hakan Calhanoglu. Hakan Calhanoglu is an Inter Milan player. He plays in basically for Turkey. He's got 97 caps, 21 goals. A very capable player, guys. A very, very capable player. Absolutely great player. Very attack-minded. Can play central midfield. Can play up front. Can play number 10. Very good player, guys. And the problem with this player, right, Calhanoglu, is that, and we're going to call him Hakan. We're going to call him Hakan Calhanoglu, right? Hakan. So Hakan is basically 31 years old. This is the problem that we're having here. He's 31 years old. And you know what? There are teams after this guy. I mean, this kind of player, he's valued about 30 to 45 million euros. He is a stopgap player for me. I'll be honest with you guys. He's a little bit of a stopgap player. A good player, but a stopgap player. Man United shouldn't be looking players at 30, 31. You know what I mean? Not right now. Man United need to build for the future. But Man United are being linked to a couple of Inter Milan players. Inter Milan are looking to make some money. They're looking to sell some players. So Calhanoglu is one of the players that they're looking to offload. Not only him, they're also looking to offload David Fratese. Now, David Fratese is a different story. David Fratese is a 35 million euro valued player. He plays in central midfield for Inter Milan as well. contract till 2028, Italian international, 29 caps for Italy, 8 goals. Very capable player, guys. Very good player, David Fratesi. I mentioned him on the show a couple of times. The thing is, right, and what I want to clear up for you guys is that a lot of these players who were on Manchester United's wish list, who are on Man United's wish list, were on Man United's wish list last year as well. So we are going to revisit these transfers, of course, this summer as well. Those of them who haven't signed for other football clubs. So Fratesi is known as a serial winner. He's won a lot in Italy. A great player. Again, central midfielder, attacking midfield, of course. And would cost about 35 million euros. You know what I mean? Versatile, good player. And Man United are interested in him. And you know what? I wouldn't say no. Man United don't have a history of buying Italian players. There's only a few of them, you know, and they haven't really worked out. Giuseppe Rossi, Darmian, of course, Massimo Taibbi. They haven't really worked out over the past, have they? So, you know what? Maybe there's a first for everything, as they say in life. There's a first for everything. But David Fratesi, another player, Man United, is on our radar, of course, guys. Absolutely. Let me know what you think about all that news, all that shuffle. Hope you're doing well. Big up Cornish. We definitely won't be good morning, Sanjay. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Definitely won't be paying 60 million for Watkins. I don't think we would. I think we'd be absolutely bonkers if we paid 60 million for Watkins, Cornish made. Absolutely. Big up, Bill. What's going on? Good morning, Bill. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you again. Sal, please tell me Sancho is on the plane. Sancho is always going to be leaving the football club, you know, because what I would say is that it's always going to be a difficulty to keep a player that is openly criticised the football club and slandered the football club over the last year or so. Whether he went on loan or whether he went on a transfer, it'd be great if he left to go. That would be 25 million in the kitty for Man United. 25 million be great for Man United, regardless. That is a good amount of money to get for Sancho. We'll take 10 at the moment, just as long as he goes, you know? So, look, Juventus are big admirers of Sancho for whatever reason. They're big admirers of Sancho. And it does look like he's in talks with Juventus. So let's hopefully, the talks are still new. The talks are still young, subject to popular belief from other journalists out there. The talks are young. They're at the early stages, and they are still quite a little bit away. But the first set of talks were deemed as positive. So that's good. That's good. We're in a good place. We can get rid of Jadon Sancho. Great. Fantastic for Manchester United. We get rid of Jadon Sancho because I think that's very, very important, in my opinion, getting rid of him. We need to get rid of the bad eggs before we can bring in some nice fresh eggs, isn't it? Because if you've got bad eggs in the fridge and you put fresh eggs in the fridge, what happens to the fresh eggs? They go bad as well, don't they, at the end of the day? So you have to get rid of the bad eggs, bad apples, however you want to say it, the fruit bowl, everything you want to say, all the analogies that you have under the sun. But Jadon Sancho looks like he may go to Juve. Good club for him. Italy could build his career, may even get back in the England squad. Who knows? If he gets his act straight, he might be able to do that. No one denies Jadon Sancho's talent when he's on his game. No one denies it. You know, I spent months talking about Jadon Sancho when he was playing for Borussia Dortmund. I spent ages talking about Borussia Dortmund, talking about Jadon Sancho. And you know what? You know, when he was playing there, and I really wanted him at Man United. And I'm disappointed it's worked out this way. It hasn't worked out for whatever reason. Mainly himself. Morning, Dave. Yeah, sorry. Big up, morning. Big up, spoken already. Mbeumo will have to put in a transfer request to get it moving. Bill, once a player says that they openly want to go to another football club and openly discuss contracts with other football clubs and agree to contract with Manchester United, it's basically a transfer wish, isn't it? It's a transfer list, but he does have to push it. I absolutely agree with this, Bill. He has to push it. If he really wants to go, he's got to push it. He's got to do it himself. Sometimes he has to take accountability and try and get this deal over the line and try and push his way through. We got until the 7th. Now it's the 3rd, right? We got about 4 days, okay, for this deal to go through. I think it will. I'm going to say it. I've said it from the beginning. I think it will. The problem is not the payment, the amount. It is actually the structure of the payment. All right. So basically, the structure of the payment, there is rumors about 70 million, of course, but the structure of the payment is the biggest issue that Man United are having. Man United don't want to pay a big chunk of the money now. They want to pay in installments. You know, they don't mind paying a little bit extra as long as they can pay in installments. And you know what? This is where Brentford are a little bit we're getting a little bit head to head with Brentford at the moment. They're getting a little bit, you know, hostile in the house. Absolutely. So Yeah, hopefully we get that deal done very soon, and hopefully it's all ironed out. But I'm just tired of the dramas. I'm tired of Man United going into transfer windows, going into transfer deal talks, and just dragging it on and having, it's always a drama. It's always a Netflix series. Every time Man United go for a transfer, we might as well get the cameras and crew to every single transfer, because it's always a drama, guys. Because, you know, the Mbeumo's set to come to Man United on the 2nd of June. If this was Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, you know, Arsenal, this still would have been done. This still would have been done a long time ago, guys. And, you know, it's crazy. It does our blood pressure. It stresses us out. And you know what? We should be used to it. But, you know, when we get, a new ownership, etc., you expect a little bit better. But then again, you think about it and you think, well, we're still owned by the Glazers, ain't we? Dembo, morning, mate. It's not looking good at the moment, but cannot get any worse. Big up, Dembo. It can only get better. So big up, UK Darren. What's going on, my friend? How are you doing? I hope you're doing well, pal. I hope you're good. King Jam, 201 Barbados time. Big up Barbados, my friends. Big up Barbados. Hope you're doing well. Big up King Jam. Good to see you, mate. 201. Bless you, my friend. Very late. It is 10:16 where I am in the world. Thank you, everyone, whoever you're joining me from around the world. Absolutely splendid. Good to see you all, of course. 38 likes near already. Big up, guys. Can we get to 100 today? Can we move it on? Pal, big up. How you doing? Still a yawn so far in the second signing. It is getting a bit treacherous in regards to yawning, in regards to slowness. And, it is very slow pace. Jim Ratcliffe did say that he wants to walk to the right decision as opposed to running to the wrong decision. We are literally crawling to the wrong decision, the right decision at the moment. We're crawling to it. We need to get a move on. We know that Mbeumo is good enough. You're going to pay the money. You want him or not, just get it over the line. Just say to Brentford, how much will you accept? And that's it. Just give him that. Otherwise, just move away from it, guys. Just buy Brentford FC. We're probably going to pay for the amount we're going to pay for Mbeumo. We could buy Brentford. Absolutely. Why don't we do that? Why don't we just go and buy Brentford and just get Mbeumo that way? Big up, guys. Big up, Stephen. Good morning. How you doing? I hope the Glazers out all day long. Big up yourself. Think he's worth seeing it through, Sal. I think he's worth seeing it. I think so as well, mate. I do think he's worth seeing it through. I think he's imperative for Man United. I think he's a very important player for Man United next season in regards to our plans. I feel a lot better. I feel a lot more confident if we got Mbeumo and Cunha rather than just having Cunha. I would be a lot better. I feel a lot better. Do you know what I mean? Darren, if Mbeumo ends up staying, hope he leaves on a free. He will leave on a free, but they have got an option to extend the contract, haven't they? It doesn't matter. Look, it doesn't make financial sense for Brentford to do what they're doing. The player wants to leave. And if they risk losing him for free, they're not going to get any money for him. And it's a lot of money for a club like Brentford. 60, 70 million is a lot of money. They cannot risk losing out on this deal. But at the same time, neither can we. We need to get this deal done, because if we don't get this deal done, there's going to be uproar in the United fan base, considering how long we've taken to do this deal. It's taken absolutely ridiculous time, hasn't it? Over a month so far to do one deal. Now, if we get this deal done, okay, great. We move on to the next one. I don't think we're going to get any more players in before the preseason game against Leeds United on the 19th. I doubt it. Probably get the players in August, which is going to be, a squeeze again. Here we go. Typical Manchester United window. Another squeeze. We need a goalkeeper. Probably need another midfielder as well. So we need to get a step on. And one thing I want is Man United to work out a couple of deals at the same time, if not 3 deals at the same time. Stop messing around. Just get the deals done. We got a lot of work to do at the moment, guys. Absolutely. Dabba, we already neck deep in the deal. Walking away should have been done on the second bid. Time to get it done now. Absolutely, Dabba, you cannot walk away from this deal now. Man United are in the place of no return at the moment. They can't turn around and say that we don't want to do this deal anymore, because that would just represent incompetence, wouldn't it? Because you've taken so long and you didn't get the deal done. How comes? Because at the end of the day, when you walk into a deal, right, you know how much Brentford want initially. You should know how much money Brentford want. Right? So Brentford have given Man United an estimation. This is why I think this disagreement with the money is not true. I think Man United have agreed the amount, but Man United are actually trying to agree a payment structure. And that is, I've said this a number of times, Man United want to pay it in their own way in regards to 20 million here, 20 million there, etc., etc. That's what Man United want to do. Unfortunately, Brentford might want the money up front because they got to build their team as well. They got to replace Mbeumo as well, haven't they? Absolutely. How Sancho, what's going on? There are two players I like, Inter, Dumfries and Marcus Thuram. A little bit about Dumfries. Dumfries, it was reported by Fabrizio Romano that Dumfries will be available for 25 million euros, guys. Why don't we go after that one? We need a right wing back, right wing back. You know what I mean? Dumfries, one of the best. Why don't we go after that? 25 million euros. It does seem like Inter Milan have to straighten the books. They got big problems with FFP and PSR apparently. So they have to sell some players. They're looking to get rid of a number of players, as I just said, about Hakan Çalhanoğlu and obviously David Fratesi as well. So you know what? Why don't we raid Inter Milan? Dumfries, 25 million. Go for it. 25 million. Go for it. I'm sure he would have wanted a transfer to Man United. Big up Jarvis, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hopefully we will keep the deadline for Mbeumo till the 7th July if Brentford demands are getting stupid now. Otherwise, move on to the next stage. There's so much to do in this window. There is a lot to do. But imagine if Man United waste a month, mate. Imagine if Man United waste a month. Man United should have known how much Brentford want for Mbeumo, right? They've got the deal done. They've got the deal done. They're just faffling about with payment structure and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Which is crazy. Big up Market Mark. What's going on, mate? How are you doing, my fella? I hope you're good. How are you, my friend? I'm very well, brother. I hope you're doing well. You're absolutely spot on. We need to get rid of these deadwood players and just pay the price for Mbeumo. Just pay the price for Mbeumo. Look, ideally, I would like to get the players in first. You know what I mean? And then we worry about the players out. But if we could do two at the same time, why not kill two birds with one stone? Hopefully we can do that. And hopefully Sancho will be a big thing because Sancho is also intertwined with Rashford, isn't he? He's connected to that Rashford thing. So if Sancho goes, maybe that's a cue for Rashford to go as well. If Sancho goes, you know, at least look, we could say if Sancho goes, at least he's looking for first team football. Unlike Marcus Rashford, who's just looking at tunnel vision, looking at, well, I just want to play for Barcelona. That's what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Bayern Munich are after Marcus Rashford for whatever reason. They got a great team already. I don't know why they would want Marcus Rashford, but they do. And if they could put the money on the table, just take the money and run. I'll tell you right now, we need to get rid of those two players in particular, and then we can move on to other players as well. That would be Eriksen, Evans, Lindelof, Rashford, Sancho. That would be 5 players at the door already, guys. Already, that would be 5 players at the door. We need about 10, in my opinion. Big up, Marky Mark. Ephraim, good morning. Good morning, Sal. Why are we negotiating so long if we pay what we pay? It's incompetence from the top to the bottom. At the end of the day, what it is, mate, what it is that Man United just don't want to pay the money up front. That is basically what it is. Brentford want the money up front. Man United don't want to pay the money up front. Brentford needs, I mean, it's all fair to Brentford because at the end of the day, Brentford is thinking to themselves, oh, but you know what? We need to replace Mbeumo. How are we going to place Mbeumo with 20 million a year? And that is what they're thinking at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So you have to look at it from their point of view. This is why Man United, when they entered these negotiations a month ago, they should have known the peak of what Brentford want. So we needed to go to Brentford and say, Mbeumo, talk to me. Mbeumo, talk to me. That's what they needed to do. And basically what they needed to do is find out the price, the top price for Mbeumo and say, okay, we meet you here. How much would you accept? Okay, they say that much. We're going to pay that much. It's simple. But Man United seem to take forever to do this. Now, I believe that Man United have agreed a fee with Brentford in regards to Mbeumo. I just don't believe that they want to. Brentford have agreed to the payment structure. And that is a problem, of course, as well. Morris, what's going on, Morris? What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Just pay the 60 million. They should be stop cooking stories. At the end of the day, look, you know what? I think I agree with Morris here. Man United need to stop messing around and just get this deal over the line. This is a very important deal for Man United. I'm telling you right now, we're not going to get anyone much better than Mbeumo. I think Mbeumo is better than Florian Wirtz. I think Mbeumo is better than João Pedro. I think he is. I think he's going to be. I think if Mbeumo comes to Manchester United, he's going to be one of the signings of the season. Mark my words, guys. Very important player. Dangerous player. Every time he plays against Manchester United, you know he's dangerous. You know it when you watch the games against Brentford. He gives us hell. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, what we need him to come to the football club and pay that money. Absolutely. Good morning, Sal, Randy. Big up yourself. Big up, Chow. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Best in class. What a load of trash. At the moment, it is looking like trash, isn't it, what they're talking about? And this is exactly what we meant by it. You know, the PR, the talk and all that, which has been going on over the last year or so, it's been absolutely, you know, Nauseating, of course. Lies around me. Good morning. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Morning, sir. I'm cool with United getting Watkins at this 29 in his prime. We get 2 or 3. OB becomes an understudy. Doesn't get disillusioned. That I don't mind OB. I don't mind Watkins. I'm not one of those people who just snobby and think, you know what? I don't want Ollie Watkins. But Ollie Watkins represents the 6th and 7th choice of Man United, which is, you know what? It's basically a representation of how badly we're doing in this window. Also, Ollie Watkins' valuation from Aston Villa is 60 million euros, guys. 60 million euros for Ollie Watkins is absolutely ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? Even 40 million is a lot of money for a 29-year-old, but you're absolutely right. He is proven to score goals in the Premier League. Had a poor season last season, and why are Aston Villa so adamant to get rid of him at the same time as well? So, look, we have to look at it like this, right? I would have preferred Osman, Gyökeres, Mateta, one of those players. You know, I would have liked them, like who are much more of a long-term sort of plan. At the moment, it looks like Man United are failing in this transfer window. The reason we're failing is because we don't have no plan anymore. The plan has gone out the window. It's a bit like we had one plan, and then we didn't get that plan, so we don't have a plan B. You know, at the end of the day. So it's plan D, plan desperation. Absolutely. Plan desperation. Ephraim, best in rubbishness, the owners are making their manager suffer. This is the biggest problem I had. The biggest feelings I have is for the manager, because at the end of the day, it's Ruben Amorim is going to suffer, isn't it? Because this little window right here, right? This little window, when the season starts, people are going to forget about this, right? They're going to forget about which players he didn't get. You know, just like last January, where we screamed out for players on January. We need players. We need a striker. We need a squad. We got players out. We ain't got Rashford. We ain't got Antony. We ain't got Shaw. We need players. And we didn't get any players. And lo and behold, we suffered, didn't we? You know, this is the same thing. You know, this is going to be the same thing. So INEOS need to pull out everything. Whether they break FFP, PSR rules, just bloody do the deals, man, because I'm tired of this. I really am. And I hope that Ruben Amorim has a leg to stand on next season. I hope that he has a fist to fight with. Because at the end of the day, looking at things right now, how are we going to expect to improve when we're going to have a majority of the same squad there by the start of next season? Just doesn't make any sense, does it? We need to get a step on. Absolutely. Randall, good morning. Morning, sir. Just watched a video. Diego looks like a baller. Absolutely, Diego Leon. Big up Diego Leon. Big up Diego Leon's father as well. Has been talking to media, talking about he doesn't want Diego Leon to go on loan. He doesn't want Diego Leon to foul, to flop, to party, to play PlayStation, etc. He wants Diego Leon to focus on his game. I like this, and I like what Diego Leon said as well. He's not coming to Man United to go on loan. He's coming to play football. Great. You look at Diego Leon, you can just tell this guy's ready. This guy is ready. It's the type of player that we need, that we've been missing. That little bit of grit. We got the likes of Dalot, who are nice guys, very nice guys. We got too many bloody nice guys in our team. You know that. We got too many nice guys. We need more grit, more energy, you know what I mean, in our team. Absolutely, definitely. Ephraim, Sal, your shirt is amazing. I like the red shirt. Thank you so much. Big up Tommy, Hellfigure. Big up yourself. Thank you so much, Ephraim. Appreciate that, my friend. Paul, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing. United is frustrating fans. We are tired of so many stories. And Man United are dragging us through the mud at the moment, Paul. You know what I would say? They're dragging us through the mud, and they need to get this moving. They need to get it moving. I know what's going on, right? I know that the deal is basically done, but Man United are penny pinching at the moment, payment structure and all that. Brentford always also digging their heels in and etc. So what we need to do is just get it done and move on, for goodness sake. We spent a month on this deal. Get it done. You know, we got preseason training on the 7th of July. So 7th of July is their deadline. Let's see if the deadline is met. If they don't get it done by the 7th of July, guys, what incompetence. What incompetence. You wasted 1 month on this deal. 1 month, and you didn't get anything done. Over a month on this deal, and you didn't get anything done. If they don't get this done by the 7th of July, right, they're buying time. I know they're buying time. They're buying time, right? If they don't get this done by the 7th of July, incompetence personified. You know what I mean? Jason, what's going on, my friend? Are we doing well? When do you think we should walk away? I don't think we should, Jason. I think we're literally a few million away from the target. I don't think we should walk away from this deal done. We're actually so deep into this deal, I don't think it would be wise to walk away. I think just get this deal done, because if we go after another number 10, it might take long as well. So we might as well just get it done. You know what I mean? They've committed themselves to this transfer. Ruben Amorim wants his transfer. Get it done, in my opinion. Don't walk away, because at the end of the day, look, you know what? It is a few million away. We're not miles away. It's just payment structure, basically. Payment structure, what Man United can pay every year. That's what we're looking for, and Brentford are looking for more money up front. Big up, Bill Taylor, 58 likes. Can we get to 100 likes? Don't forget to smash the like, guys. Silverstrand, what's going on? Silver 60 minute run. Run, INEOS, run. Can INEOS run? Silverstrand, INEOS don't like running. You remember what Jim Ratcliffe said? Jim Ratcliffe said he likes to walk to the right destination, so he won't be running away. He'll be walking away. Well, given how slow they've been this window, he'll be crawling away instead. Absolutely. Ephraim, Sal, is it a Rory Athletic article? We buy a striker if we sell Hojlund? Yeah, look, I want to get into this. It was circulated, news circulated yesterday that Rasmus Hojlund is more likely to leave Manchester United than to stay at Manchester United. What do you guys make of that? Look, at the end of the day, look, I don't mind if Man United have got a striker to replace him. Man United need a striker. I rate Chido Obi Martin. I rate him. I think he should be our second striker right now, and we should have an experienced striker up front. Now, look, a lot of people are feeling sorry for Rasmus. It's fair enough. The circumstances, the context of what Rasmus has to go through in regards to being thrown into the deep end so soon, expected to be the one to score goals, it just hasn't worked out for him at the end of the day. And if Man United can get an offer for Rasmus, I do believe we should accept it, but that's just my opinion, right? I think he's been at Man United. This will be his third season at Man United. You know, he was breaking records. Let's not forget when he came to Man United, you know, at the end of the day, in his first season, his second season was ridiculously bad. But would you accept an offer for Rasmus Hojlund? Would you accept it? Again, there's interest from Inter Milan as well, you know, interest from Italy. But it was interesting to see. It was interesting to hear that Rasmus Hojlund is more likely to leave Manchester United to stay. I was surprised when I heard that, you know. Let's wait and see what happens. Big up, Kevin. What's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Kohanoglu, 31. No, thank you. We are supposed to be after young players. It looks like, Kevin, that we've thrown that out the window. We're after Ollie Watkins, who is 29. Of course, we're throwing things out the window now. It's like, basically now we're like, okay, plan B, plan C, plan D. Plan desperation. That's what it is at the end of the day. That's what we're doing, guys. Plan D. Plan diabolical. Wagwan from Australia. What's going on, Johnson? How you doing? Wagwan, my guy. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Always locked in for your vibes. Perth representing the Red Devils worldwide. Come on, glory, Man United. Big up, Johnson. You're very welcome, mate. Big up from down. Big up you guys from down under, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And hopefully, we got a great fan base in Australia in regards to Manchester United. Absolutely splendid. It's good to see you here, mate. Thank you so much for joining today, should I say. Derez, what's going on? I love Alessandro Bastoni from Inter. Even a perfect for Amorim system. Yeah, what in the back three? I think Bastoni is a great player. I think he's a great player. Obviously, last season, like when they lost to PSG in the final of the Champions League, people are going to look at Inter Milan and second guess their players and stuff. I just think they got it tactically wrong. In regards to the Champions League final against PSG, I do believe that Inter Milan froze. They played the occasion and not the actual game, and they froze and they didn't give themselves a chance in the game. Yeah, PSG are a great side as well. No disrespect to them. I'm not taking anything away from them. But Inter Milan, they beat Barcelona. They are better than what they showed. I like Bastoni. I think he is a good player. Absolutely. Bill, Sal, it takes less muscle in your face to smile. Good. I want to smile and soon. I mean, at the end of the day, you tell me about it, Bill. I'm one of those guys. I'm very upbeat. I'm very, giddy. Some people say I'm a little bit overly zealous. I'm a little bit overly confident. I am always, even now to this day, I'm still overly confident, but we have to call things how they are, isn't it? And we're hoping that Ruben Amorim is backed properly, because I don't want to start next season with all this toxicity. Oh, Amorim out, get him out of my club, get him out, the Portuguese fraud, blah, blah, blah. I don't want any of them from them bums, on them other channels. I don't want any of that. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Listen, it's just, I just feel like, I want him to have a fighting chance. That's what I want. I want Ruben Amorim to have a fighting chance in his football team, because I believe he's a very good manager. Red Devils Dave, any updates on Garnacho and Rashford? Nothing in regards to Garnacho at the moment, although there is rumours about Aston Villa and Chelsea who are going after Garnacho at the moment. No bids as of yet, unfortunately. We're waiting for a bid for Garnacho. Don't know why that hasn't come in yet, apparently. Of course, INEOS do keep their cards very close to their chest. They seldom let anything out in regards to the media. set things they want to let out, of course. Guys, but nothing in regards to that. In regards to Rashford, progressing a little bit in regards to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich is progressing a little bit, but nothing solid at the moment. Obviously, a lot of teams are going to be looking out for loans in regards to Rashford. No one wants him, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, you know, because he's in fair play, he's aiming high. He's aiming high. Bayern Munich, Barcelona. He's aiming high, but maybe he needs to take a little bit of a reality check and maybe go to a club on the next tier level down. Maybe he might impress, and maybe he might end up playing in the World Cup next year. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. But Bayern Munich, in regards to Rashford, look out for that. And Garnacho, Aston Villa or Chelsea in regards to that. Garnacho, of course, wants to stay in England. So that is one thing, of course. That narrows it down again, doesn't it? Smash the likes and subscribe. Big up Ephraim. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much, of course. Dates, Bastoni looks class. Absolutely, he is a class player. Kirhan, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Any Sancho updates? Juve at the moment. Juve, they're in talks with Juventus. The deal is not done. It's not been agreed. The first set of talks took place, and it was positive. The deal has not been done. Jadon Sancho is willing to take a bit of a pay cut. So that's progress. That's progress. So I would say that's positive, isn't it, at the end of the day? But this has been reported for a few weeks. Do you know what I mean? Subject to popular belief. People talking about, oh, I was the exclusive. I said the exclusive. I said it on Monday. I said it on there. Forget all that business, fake journalists and stuff like that. At the end of the day, look, you know, Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, Ben Jacobs, and that's about it at the end of the day, if I hear it from them. Absolutely. Bill, Derez, big up, Bill. Asa, hey, Albie, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. What's your opinions on Man United so far in this transfer window? Probably not good, is it, Albie? You know what I mean? It's really, really bad at the moment. It's very slow at the moment, and people are getting more and more frustrated. My biggest excitement is watching people who are so INEOS in, right? You know those people who are INEOS in, that committed themselves so much to INEOS in. I'm waiting to see when they turn. I'm waiting to see, because they go patience. I'm waiting to see when they turn the wrong direction. But you know what? It could all happen. They can fix this window. They can make this window a good window. You know what I mean? They could do that, you know, but they have to get a step on. They have to get moving, of course. They do, because it is very slow, guys. So big up Albie, big up yourself. At this stage, I would have set 2 strikers and a goalkeeper. God bless you always, sir, brother. I mean, at the moment, big up Miles, lovely comment, my friend. Thank you so much for joining me every single morning. I would agree, absolutely. Mensa, good morning. But do you think it's worth that amounts out? Who for? Mbeumo? Yeah. I think 20 goals in the Premier League for Brentford, 70 million. That is worth it, absolutely. When you're talking about certain players going for 65 million, Gittins, right? Going for 65 million to Chelsea. You know, who's better, Mbeumo or Gittins? Mbeumo, right? You know what I mean? Mbeumo's a better player than Gittins. You know, at the end of the day, I would argue that Mbeumo's better than João Pedro. Mbeumo right now is better than Florian Wirtz. He's proven in the Premier League, isn't he? So, absolutely. Big up Derez, big up, yes, Bill, big up Bill, everyone, of course, guys. Johnson. The Bremer deal is moving slower than Onana chasing a ball. It's moving slower than Onana went down for that goal against Tottenham in the Europa League final. That is how slow our transfer window is going. Do you know what I mean? And we've still got the Sancho hanging around last season's form. Juventus should have taken him yesterday. Juventus don't want to pay the wages, Johnson. If he was willing to take a significant pay cut, then maybe they'll be able to do that. Juventus and Inter Milan are offloading players because they cannot afford wages. Then they're trying to lower their wage bill. So why would they buy Sancho on 300 grand a week? It is rumored that Sancho, fair enough, is taking a pay cut. He's willing to take a pay cut. That's good. I am glad about that, but we'll have to wait and see. Talk is cheap. Shane, what's going on? Arsenal rocking up Old Trafford with Eze, Saka, and Gyökeres leading the line a long day. Shane, my friend, my guy, we're going to beat Arsenal, mate. Don't worry about that. We will beat Arsenal on the first game of the season, and we will set it up nicely. Nicely does it. 2 pillows, nice and comfy. Guys, we will beat Arsenal in the first game of the season. Let me tell you that right now. Come on, United. Absolutely. Don't worry about Arsenal. We are the only club that is sell cheap and buy expensive players. We're very bad. It's going to take years to get rid of this culture, Randy. Absolutely. Shane. Big up, Shane. Read that one. Big up. Sal, why are we not going for Mateta? I know, mate. I know. We're not going for him. I think maybe because of the price, maybe because Crystal Palace are going to put a hefty price tag on him. He's got a year left on his contract, hasn't he? So Man United could possibly get a good deal for him. I don't know. But we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, do we? I mean, it could represent, they could be doing something behind the scenes, but obviously Man United are putting all their eggs in the Mbeumo basket, of course. Trash in class, absolutely. At the moment, we struggle getting players, then struggle getting rid of them. Yeah, because we overpay for them and then we give them ridiculous wages and they don't want to have a wage reduction. Just like happened with Maguire last season. Remember when he was going to go to West Ham and he didn't want to take a pay cut? He wanted 5 million straight to leave Man United. No, probably better that he didn't leave Man United in the end. You know what I mean? Why are we not getting Richard Rios? You know, one thing I would say about that is that Man United are not proactive. They're not doing 2 deals at once. Do you know what I mean? And this is the problem that I'm having. Man United have always been interested in Richard Rios. I've said it a year ago. You know what I mean? Forget about all those idiots who've been telling you now that we're into Richard Rios. We're into Padula, me. I was interested. I told you. I broke the news. No, you didn't, mate. I spoke about Richard Rios in bloody August last year, mate. That Man United were interested in him. Man United have always been interested in Richard Rios, right? And Man United are still interested in Richard Rios. We still have the same players on our wish list, the same as last year. So stop telling fibs, okay? This is what these guys do. And Kenny, stay off their channel, mate. For goodness sake, they're ridiculous. And what I would say is this, right? We know that we're after Richard Rios. Have we made a move? No. Why we haven't made a move? Because we're incompetent. We're slow. And we snooze, we lose. Just like we did with Quenda and people like that, of course. We snooze and we lose. Timo, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning. In my opinion, I'm glad we told the 7th or nothing, but it should have been done by now. Yes, we are not doing the De Jong going all the window. Yeah, but at the end of the day, what does that represent? If we walk away, Timo, what does that represent? A month and a bit of wasted time, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? And that is incompetence. And when you're so close to a deal, just get the deal done. Just pay the extra. Just get it done. At the end of the day, Brentford don't want much more. And what I heard, right, is that Man United agreed a fee. The problem we're having is the payment structure. Brentford want the money up front. We can't pay the money up front. We're doing a payment structure. And that is us. That's us. We're the incompetent ones, not Brentford. You fair play to Brentford. Brentford are doing what they have to do. But we're the incompetent ones because we're like penny pinching. We'll pay you £2.50 every single month. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. Big up Timo, by the way. Hope you're doing well. VJ, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. The manager is the Fulky. Stopping Bruno from leaving. Look, it was down to Bruno and it was down to the club. The club, it's not just down to Amram, guys. Ruben Amram is not the guy who makes the final decision. It is obviously Wilcox, Barada, Vivel, and these guys to make the decision. Bruno leaving was one thing. But at the same time, you know, do you actually think in your heart of hearts, right? Do you actually think that Man United would have put that 100 million odd towards a player? You know, we still would have been in this situation. Morning, Mark. What's going on? I said it 2 weeks ago on the page that if we get Tuesday, first week of July and no movement, that's it. Time to ask questions. United should be making announcements now. It's not looking good. I agree, Mark. Communication is everything. I mean, I did say it yesterday and many days ago that Man United need to be communicating with the fans. And the reason they need to be communicating with the fans, they don't have to communicate with the fans, but it is a nice gesture because at the end of the day, Man United came 15th last year, right? And we want to know what's going on with our football club. We want to know what's going on with the transfers. What's the plans? What's going on with Mbeumo? Communicate with the fans because they've been very silent and arrogant, in my opinion. They are. And I think they need to start communicating and start being more intertwined with the fans. Do you know what I mean? Jeff, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. VJ. The manager is stuck up and arrogant, should get rid of Bruno. He's not stuck up and arrogant, VJ. I know the guy is not stuck up and arrogant. He's a very nice guy, VJ. He's not stuck up and arrogant, mate. He's a very good guy at the end of the day. And he doesn't make the decisions on whether to keep Bruno or not. Bruno decided to stay. The Wilcox and Barada, it was up to them to tell Bruno to leave. If they wanted to have the money, if they felt the money was enough, it's not down to Ruben Amram to sell him. You know, the club have to tell him. The club have to tell Bruno, you're leaving. We need the money. It's not down to Amram. Amram could say that I want to keep him, I want to get rid of him. It doesn't really matter. He has a say slightly, but in regards to Wilcox, Vivel, and Barada, they'll say, look, 100 million, we have to accept this, Ruben. And Ruben will have to say yes. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Is Arsenal moving forward? Nothing at the moment, Kieran. Nothing in regards to Gyökeres. It was overly exaggerated by L'Équipe by last week. L'Équipe broke the news about, Gyökeres talking to Arsenal. It's far-fetched. Gyökeres is still there. He already knows where he's going. I know that. I said that 2 weeks ago. He already knows where he's going. And I hope he goes to Man United. But you know what? As time goes on, that deal does get a little bit messy. And also, will Arsenal walk away from that deal? Arsenal could possibly walk away from that deal as well because all the mess, all the dramas that's going on with Gyökeres at the moment, you know? So Arsenal could just say, all right, forget this. We're going to go after Sesko. And if Arsenal do that, then Man United have a clear run, hopefully. But there is Liverpool lurking around. And whilst Liverpool lurking around, we know how shrewd they are with transfers this season, of course, guys. Absolutely. United treating United like a poor orphan. Meanwhile, I get you, VJ. I get you. Glazers are a problem at Man United. They have been a problem, and so are INEOS, because INEOS facilitated the Glazers, didn't they? At the end of the day, they are a problem. The Glazers have always been a problem. And you know what? It's seldom that they leave this football club. I hope they do one day, you know. Beef Bully, what's going on, my friend? Maybe a little question aside here. What do you think of Tommy Robinson? What do I think of Tommy Robinson? Can I be honest with you, Beef Bully? I don't like to talk politics on this channel. I really don't. But what I would say is that people like Tommy Robinson incite hatred. They incite hatred. They incite racism. They incite sinister things in England. England is a multicultural country, a very great multicultural country. My dad is an immigrant, right? My mum is English, a white English lady. My dad is an immigrant. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But what he needs to understand is that millions and millions of people died for England, unallied for England and the UK and Britain and, freedom in the World War II, who were not English. Millions, right? That's what he needs to understand. He's a nasty individual, and he cannot pull wool over my eyes in regard to what's best for the country, because he does not, at the end of the day. And I don't like to talk politics on there because it is a divider. But what I would say is this, that I hate people who divide people. The world doesn't belong to anyone at the end of the day. I hate people who like to divide, and that's what it is. And I like to unite people and stuff like that. Big up, Beef Bully. Thank you so much, mate. Mark Gemini. Brentford have every right to dig their heels, and they hold the contract, but we enter pre-season very good and players should be in place. I hope so, Mark. I hope that we have some good news in the next week, isn't it, Mark? That's what's the most important thing, of course. Big up, Jeff. Hey, Sal, if we keep on going like this, then we definitely will be relegated next season with this old squad with players. I don't think we'll be relegated, mate, and the only reason if we don't get any more players, that is, Jeff, we will get players. Don't worry about that. But what I would say is this: Man United won't be relegated. The only reason we won't get relegated is because the three teams that are going to be below us are much worse than us. It's not that we're very good. It's just that they're much worse than us. As we know, last season, Man United were putting all their eggs into the Europa League basket and then went to the Europa League and absolutely played a stinker, didn't they? You know what I mean? That's why they went down the league like that. Man United need to fight like we used to do on all fronts, not just one front. You know what I mean? Big up, Jeff. You sound like Mark for United Stand, probably because we're both English, VJ, probably. Thank you so much. I like Mark. He's a nice guy at the end of the day. I've known him for 7 years, speak to each other quite a lot. But I'm myself. I do my own thing. I'm an EastEnder. I talk the way I talk. That's what I do at the end of the day. I'm Sal. Nice to meet you, VJ. Good to see you. Saviour. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Saviour. It's good to have you on board again, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Man United fans have suffered last season. So the next season, we don't want to be panicking when we're watching our team. Please support the coach with the players he wants. Mbeumo, Gyökeres, we need you guys. Come on, Saviour, my guy. Thank you so much. Love that comment, mate. We have to back this manager, guys. We cannot turn against our manager, because I know that a lot of people are going to be turning against Ruben Amorim next season. I know that, and they're going to be forgetting about the transfer window. The only way I'm going to hold Ruben Amorim accountable, even though I'm not going to go, oh, you're Portuguese fraud and all that crap that other people spit. The only thing I'm going to be holding him accountable if he's backed to the hill and back. If we're getting 7, 8 new players, you know what I mean? Or 6, let's say 6 and 7. Let's be realistic. 6 or 7 new players. That's the only way I'm going to turn against him in a way that, look, he's got to do better. I think he will do better, guys. You're going to see a shock next season. Trust me, guys. Saviour. You know what? We're going to see a shock next season, and it's going to be a positive shock. Absolutely. Still slow, see bigger Earth fan. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is good as well. If it takes so long, Mbeumo, how much time would it get to sign a striker? I think that we have to walk away for Ollie Watkins. It would take so much time. Ephraim, I don't want Ollie Watkins for 60 million. Absolutely not. We're not going to pay 60 million. We can go out there and get Gonzalo Ramos from PSG. We can get him, for a fraction of price. We get Matata for less money than Ollie Watkins. I mean, why are we so focused on Ollie Watkins now? I like Ollie Watkins, good player, but you know what? At the end of the day, 60 million, it's already started badly, isn't it? It's already started badly in regards to this Ollie Watkins story. Hesty, I think 60 million from Mbeumo was just the price tag at the start. When you sell something, you offer the highest amount. Absolutely. You have room to bug. I believe for now, they only want 60 million from it. The problem is, Hesty, and I've said it on here, Hesty, look, it's not about the price. It's not the price tag. It is basically about the payment structure. That is the problem that we're having at the moment. It's quite obvious that Man United are having a problem with the payment structure. Brentford want this much up front. Man United are unwilling to pay this much up front. Do you know what I mean? Guys, absolutely. But hopefully, Jadon Sancho leaves the club. Jadon Sancho takes a pay cut. He leaves the club. Hopefully, Rashford leaves the club. Great. That'd be fantastic. Hopefully, Antony leaves the club as well. Of course, there was news about Antony and Real Betis on loan. No. Antony there's various clubs around Europe, Atletico Madrid, Leverkusen, who want Antony. So we let's not accept any more loan deals, guys. Enough with the loan deals. You know what I mean? Enough with the loan deals. We're tired of these loan deals at the end of the day. We need to start selling players. I don't understand how Chelsea could sell a player like Vega, right? Is it Vega? They sell him for what is it? How much did they sell Vega for? But they got him away quickly. He never plays for Chelsea. Quenza. Leverkusen, so quickly. Hardly played for Liverpool. So bad at selling players. Bastoni, 80 million plus 10 million. Big up, fam. As I can say, FX, well, and it applies here. No slow in the stone. Virgil, big up Sandcaster. How you doing? I don't get what you mean there, my friend. I hope you're well. Thanks for joining. Victor Osman, I need more Worldcast 9. I love Victor Osman, but doubt it's going to happen. Wages are a problem. Ruben's going to be sacked if he doesn't get what he needs. Randy, this is the problem, isn't it? We're going to sack a manager. We're going to get a new manager in. That manager's not going to get backed. Round and round we go. How are we going to improve? Either get your manager in, back your manager, get the players he needs, and then we go from there. Do you know what I mean? At the moment, it seems like insanity to get a manager in with a distinctive style of play, and not backing him. Didn't back him in January, not backed him so far, realistically, have they? They've got Cunha in. Do you know what I mean? And in regards to Dorgu, people talk about, but we signed Dorgu in January. We pre-signed Dorgu last summer. I spoke about it on the channel, guys. We spoke about him last summer. Always going to happen. That was an INEOS signing. Not a Ruben Amorim one. Brentford's playing hard ball. Remo's not just any player. He's the MVP, absolutely, who made their EPL season to remember. They want to cash big to build the squad. Fair play. Got to respect the hustle. Johnson, thank you, mate. Thank you. At the end of the day, these teams are not going to budge for what they want. They believe in what their price tag is. A 20-goal a season, number 10 or right winger. 20 goals from the wing. Guys, 80 million. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, 90 million. Premier League proven at Brentford. You're not getting any supply at Brentford. And then you scored 20 goals in a season. What are you looking for? They've got a point. I know that Cunha was a release clause. They got a point in regards to that. All right? That Cunha was 60-odd million, 65. And you know what? Mbeumo's worth more. You can't argue with that. He is. He is. If Chelsea, if Liverpool, if City went after Mbeumo, right? Let's be honest with ourselves. If Chelsea or Liverpool or Arsenal were close to signing Mbeumo, let's say Arsenal, for argument's sake. Let's say Arsenal have just signed Cunha, right? And now they're going after Mbeumo. What would you think? You'd be like, whoa, they're going to be dangerous next season, right? They're going to be dangerous. Arsenal are going to be dangerous next season. You'll think that, won't you? Do you know what I mean? They just need to get the deal done. He's a very important player for Man United, and I don't think we're going to get anyone anywhere near as good as Mbeumo. And I would like to take him away from Brentford, if I'm being honest, because I'm tired of going down to Brentford and getting smashed up. Do you know what I mean? Ain't you? You know what I mean? Again, so Brentford and Mbeumo is a big part of that. He's a massive part of that. Jeff, August is around the corner, and we should fear our first game because we are not ready yet. Hopefully, Jeff, we get it ready, my friend. Hopefully. I do believe that we're going to stand a chance against Arsenal. I don't fear Arsenal at all. We beat Arsenal with 10 men last season at the Emirates. You remember, with a referee against us as well. So let's wait and see. Sandcaster. Yeah, Brentford has lost players from last year, from what I've heard. Brentford, if they lose Mbeumo, Sandcaster, I actually see Brentford struggling this year. I don't think the manager that they brought in, is it Keith Andrews, former Republic of Ireland international? I don't think that he's the manager that's like a Thomas Frank. I think Thomas Frank was a big part of that. I think Mbeumo was a big part of that. I can see other players leaving, the football club. I think that Brentford will struggle next season. I believe that. I don't think that they might not get relegated. The team I think are going to get relegated at the moment, the way things are going, is Everton. I think Everton will go down. They're playing at a new stadium, remember, Everton, next season. And Goodison Park is no longer there. And Goodison Park was a big part of their success, of course. Stability, I would say, not success. Ephraim, Sal, who you keep if you buy a striker, Hojlund or Xerxes? Xerxes. I'm keeping Xerxes, mate, at the moment. Moyes Keane news, bigger fan, Moyes Keane. Oh, yeah, he's linked to Man United as well. Obviously, one of the 7th, 8th choice strikers. Of course, Moyes Keane flopped in England before. Let's not remember that. Let's remember that as well. So let's not forget about that. Jeff, hands off Xerxes. He is going to do the hands off, but I back him next season. I back Xerxes. One thing I like about Xerxes, let me tell you about Xerxes, right? One thing I like about Xerxes' character. Last season, he was booed off the pitch, right? Booed off the pitch. Hounded off the pitch. He came back stronger. I like that about Xerxes. There's something about Xerxes I like. I think if he gets himself in shape, he gets a little bit sharper, quicker, there's a player in there. He reminds me a little bit of Dimitar Berbatov, right? I know that is very high praise, right? It reminds me a little bit of Dimitar Berbatov. And if he can get himself fit and get himself ready, focused, he will be a good player for us next season. I really do believe that. Man United could possibly have a great strike force next season with Mbeumo, Cunha, Xerxes, Ahmad, all these players there, or they can have a weak front three. You know what I mean? We hope that is the first. 81 likes. We're looking good. Big up, Bill. Come on, guys. Can we get to 100 likes, guys? Come on, guys. This is the place to be. Thank you so much, guys. Big Bully, Sal, we need to sign quick time, bruv, at least soon next week by... Next week, hopefully, look, the 7th is what they're talking about. They bought themselves more time. Hopefully next week they won't say the 14th. You know what I mean? Well, 7th is what they're... Okay, let's see what happens by the 17th. Get the bloody deal done, for goodness sake. Stop making predictions. We're going to win the league by 2028. Stop bloody making predictions and get deals done and focus on what the most important thing is at the moment. Building the bloody football team. Stop giving yourself time. Right? Because when you give yourself time, what message does that send out to the team? They're doing things wrong, in my opinion. Everything they're doing at the moment is just wrong. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Aside here, Sal, what do you think of Rashford for Watkins? Good business? That would be good business, yeah, if it was a straight swap. But we can't do swaps, obviously, because obviously Rashford is homegrown. So the only way we can override that is by paying. They buy Rashford, we buy Watkins, sort of thing. Like basically a swap, isn't it? But it's a stage. You can't directly swap with a homegrown players because it will affect our PSR, FFP, etc. Gregory, what's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Any movement or changes from yesterday? What I would say is that there's movement in regards to Jadon Sancho, definitely. Every day that goes past is a day closer to the 7th of July, which they have, exposed themselves in regards to the Mbeumo transfer. I think that will go over the line. I do believe Mbeumo will be a Man United player. I said it all along. I think he will be. And then we can move on to the striker, of course, and let's see what happens. Big up Gregory, by the way. Thank you for joining me, my mate. Mbeumo will come, but we can't go into next season. Usual players can't adapt to that. Absolutely, Jeff. Spot on. My friend, what's going on? Your local Alvarez fan. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Do you think Antony will be resurgent in the Premier League after his great Betis loan? No. The reason is I just don't think the Premier League suits his style. It doesn't. It's no detriment. It's no criticism in regards to Antony. I just think that some players suit certain styles of football. For example, look, when you think about Antony, right? Antony's very predictable. Antony will get the ball and he'll cut in. He does it all the time. Get the ball and cut in. Now, that might work in Spain. But as you saw in the Conference League final with Chelsea know how to defend that. Premier League teams know how to defend that. He's very easy to defend against. He's very predictable. Do you know what I mean? I would say. So I don't think it's going to change much. He's got one skill and he does it all the time. And I think the Premier League know what he's going to do. When you know what a player is going to do, it's very easy to defend against because you can pre-prepare it, isn't it? And that's what happens with Antony, of course, you know, at the end of the day. He is now one of the last players of Joga Benito. Not joking. Big up, my friend. Big up, my guy. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining, by the way. Let's get 100 likes before the stream ends. Thank you, viewers. Let's get to 100 likes. Can we get to 100 likes? Sides here. What you think? I think I've read that one. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Don't like talking about that guy, mate. He's a hateful, evil man. Let's get, and this is the problem, you know? This is the problem. You know, these type of people who are ignorant. That's it, guys. They're just ignorant. You know what I mean? And I don't like talking about the uneducated, ignorant fools. Let's get this Mbeumo deal over the line and move on for the next target. Wake me up when it's done. Big up, Revert7. Hope you're doing well. I'll give you a buzz. Big up. Thank you so much, mate. Mensa, Douglas Luiz, I think it will be a better solution in our current midfield to swap deal in exchange for Sancho. Good point. Good point. I wouldn't mind bringing him in. Guys, thank you. Morning, bro. Big up, Chandigo. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Big up yourself. Hope you're well. Let's talk football only. Big up, Stanley. Yeah, let's talk football only. It's the only about football, guys. Big up yourself. It's all about football. Absolutely. But this is a real channel. This is a real channel. I always bring him down, but I don't talk too much about it. At the end of the day, I'm born and bred in London, Leytonstone in East London, like David Beckham is, right? And at the end of the day, I don't like dividing people and stuff like that and creating hatred and things like that. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much. Big up, Ellen. Good morning, Ellen. How you doing? Long time. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Just say good morning. Good morning, Noah. How you doing? Good morning, John. And good morning, everyone. I hope you're well. Have a great day, guys. I'm Sal Warner. This is Stretford Post. This is Breaking Dawn. I will be back later on for Chatterbox. Don't forget to join me for that, guys. And don't forget to put your notifications on in case I go live, of course. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video, guys, before you leave. We need to get to 100 likes today. We got to 100 likes yesterday, I believe. So let's do it again, guys. Have a great day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world. Much appreciated and much love to you all. Take it easy. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. See you later. Peace.